Hello, class of 2024. Welcome to the first day of online learning with the Technology 8 class. We're going to continue our discussion on electrical components and electrical wiring. We're going to do that for a while, which is really difficult to do from a distance learning perspective. So there's going to be a lot of how-to videos, a little bit of exploration of electrical components around your house, and just making you a little more aware of what's going on when you flip the switch in your house or you plug your vacuum cleaner in to vacuum the Cheetos off the floor in front of the television. So we're going to start out today. We're going to talk a little bit just about electrical boxes. And when we work with our electrical components, when we were still in the classroom, we did a lot of work in the components. The electrical boxes were already on our mock-up of our walls here. So these are just what we call a gang box, which means that it's just basically a box that we can use. We can either put a switch in there like we were doing before, or we can also put an outlet in our electrical gang boxes. And we can have single electrical gang boxes like this. We can have doubles in which we can put two switches in, or we can actually even put a switch and an outlet in there, or we can put two outlets in there if we need to. And they get bigger and bigger as they go. We can actually have gang boxes that are 4 or 5 switches or outlets large, depends upon what our application is. This would be a good application for, say, right as you walk in the house from the garage. So you got a switch that controls the electrical outlets or the electrical lights in the garage. You got one that maybe turns the kitchen light on, maybe one that turns the living room light on, and maybe you've got one that turns an outside light on, so people coming up to the house, you can turn the switch on and they can see. So they can get pretty large, but they're all pretty much the same. These boxes that we're working with are new construction. In other words, we have bare walls, and we're going to put this in before we put any wall covering on the outside of these. So if you take a real close look at this, you see that there's a couple little electrical or plastic tabs on here, and what they do is they line up with your, grab this blue one here, and they'll line up with your studs here so that you know how far this should be sticking out or in. You should never have these flush, because then again you're going to put drywall or some sort of a wall covering over the top of these, and it's going to cover this, and then you're going to have a lot of problems. So you want to make sure that that sticks out. And these little tabs, they just save you from having to measure. So we just kind of line that up with the edge of our stud, and we nail those in place. And so we'll do that with this box right here. I'll back my nails back out. I'm going to take my hand, and you can see that I'm lining those electrical. I've already got a mark as the height I want, so I'm going to line those up. I'm going to hold it in place with my thumb and my fingers, and then I'm just going to tap the nails into place to get them started. Once it's held in place, I can either hang on to the box I want or to the wall. And what's neat about these boxes, you can see on this one, the nail is angled, and what that does is it helps me drive this nail in, that I don't have to try and rattle my hammer around between two studs like this as I'm trying to drive that nail in. Because it goes at an angle, I can miss the stud behind it. So that's basically how you get started. There are other outlets or boxes that we'll work with. This is called a light box, and it's usually for lights or other type of round applications. So these are switch boxes or outlet boxes. We call them gang boxes, and this is a light box. So we'll talk about the light boxes. We'll mount those, and we'll show you how all that goes, but we will cover that in our next video.